점수 잡는 hackers.
Alright, so this is the second lecture in series for vocabulary, and this one is on easily confused words and idiomatic phrases, okay? So, easily confused words, let me just introduce you to this concept. Writing and language vocabulary questions also sometimes include words that are similar in meaning, but differ in spelling, or words that are similar in spelling, right? So they're similar in spelling, but different in meaning. For information on commonly confused words in questions dealing with nouns and pronouns, see Chapter 9 of Grammar, okay? These questions sometimes use verbs that take a preposition like taking on and taking off in order to ensure, which means guarantee, test takers are aware of both meanings. The best way to prepare for this type of vocabulary question for easily confused words is to ensure you evaluate each answer choice carefully before selecting the correct answer. Okay? As with other aspects of the SAT, if you have practiced reading and writing material similar to the material in the writing and language test, you may find this type of question a little easier to handle. So obviously, people who are more aware of their vocabulary, have good diction, they may find this section easier than the others. All right, so let's see some examples, okay? I did provide some extra material for you guys to look at for this easily confused word section of the SAT writing and language test, but let's look at some examples together. So eminent, which is an adjective, means superior to or more well-regarded than others, right? Okay, what about imminent though? They both look almost the same and almost sound the same too, right? But then here, it's an adjective meaning happening soon or about to occur, right? Something approaching. All right, so they're completely different in meaning, but they look really similar, so you can get them confused. What about lose and loose, right? Lose is a verb to no longer have possession of, to no longer have, right? So if you lose something, we're talking about L-O-S-E, right? So you no longer have it. What about L-O-O-S-E? It's an adjective, means not tight, not secure. So if the leash on a dog is loose, what does that mean? It means it's not tight enough, right? Okay, so that's an adjective. What about stationary and stationary? The first stationary with an A would be an adjective, meaning not moving, okay? So just mobile, right? Not moving at all, just still, right? Okay, what about stationary noun? Is talking about pens, pencils, papers, and other writing-related objects that, objects that you use to write with. So that would be a noun. All right, industrial, adjective relating to industry, factories, or other places where items are produced, right? So dealing with factories, so industrial, and then what about industrious? It means hardworking, and it's an adjective, right? So completely different from industrial. What about persecute and prosecute? Those sound very similar and look very similar as well, right? Okay, persecute is a verb which means to attempt to hurt, annoy, or otherwise disadvantage someone else, right? So you're bothering them, but it goes further than that. It's a very negative connotation to it, right? So it's to hurt somebody and to harm them. What about prosecute? It means to bring a person or group to court in order to seek legal punishment, okay? So that's different from persecute. This has to do with legal battles, right? All right, idiomatic usage is the second part of this lesson. The writing and language test may contain one or two questions that are designed to test your knowledge of idiomatic usage. In particular, these questions focus on the use of prepositions in certain contexts. In this type of idiomatic usage, only one particular use is considered contextually correct. So contextually means in writing, right? Even though other options might be grammatically correct. So other options, that's all of SAT writing language, right? Other options look grammatically correct, and a lot of times they are, but that doesn't necessarily make them the preferred answer, right? Okay, so they can be grammatically correct, but we need something that's what? Contextually correct according to SAT rules. Here are some examples of idiomatic usage you may encounter in the writing and language test. Okay, capable of, not capable to, right? We say capable of something. The working group may not be capable of achieving any of its stated goals before the end of the year. Capable of means like able to do something, right? Okay. Unique to, not unique in, right? So you always use the preposition to after unique on the SAT. The creature is unique to Australia and is not found anywhere else in the world. So if you are unique to Australia, that means you are only in Australia, right? The creature can only be found in Australia. Okay, that is why it's unique to Australia, not in. All right, essential to, not essential in. The vice president stated that cooperation was essential to bringing about a satisfying outcome for both parties. Outcome means result, consequence, right? All right, so essential to do what? Cooperation was essential to bringing about a satisfying outcome. So cooperation is essential to a good outcome, right? Okay. What about contrary to, not contrary with? Contrary to popular belief, there is no evidence that Vikings wore horns on their helmets. So it's always contrary to something, not contrary with or contrary, anything else. Contrary in, contrary of, anything else will not work. Okay?